welcome to another edition of Inquiring Minds. I'm your host, Steve Harper, and with me, as always, is my amazing, fabulous co-host, Donna Carlin. Donna, how are you doing today?
I'm really excited about being here with you as always.
Well, I appreciate that. This is the highlight of my week. I actually tweeted out. I mean, how better could a day start than actually getting to have a conversation with you? This is just the highlight of my week. So I'm so grateful we're having these conversations and we're tackling these questions. So what are we talking about today?
So today, why can utilizing a coach be beneficial for your life and your career?
I love this one. Because I know for you and I, we love what we do and we love how we are able to connect and engage with the clients that we serve. But I know probably if you're like me, you've had a number of coaches and mentors in your life that have kind of steered you into the direction that you've headed with your career. And they've been so instrumental at that time. And so I'm really excited about this topic because I think that not a lot of people understand the power of coaching and what it can bring to both your personal and your professional life, but just what a game changer it can be.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's not these huge changes that make all the difference. Sometimes the incremental changes, which is how mastery is achieved. Mastery isn't achieved with a promotion.
Yep.
It's achieved when you're plateauing and practicing your craft and everything else. However, getting a coach helps you practice the right things.
Yep.
And you could be so good at something that is bad. You know what I mean? Like you could practice a mistake over and over and over again and be super good at it.
Yep.
So, I love this because a coach helps you see a perspective you're not paying attention to
Yeah.
or a hidden potential that you haven't discovered. They allow that to, they create the container for it to emerge and to strengthen.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. Like a partner in crime, which is what people call me,
Me
is
too.
so beneficial, right? You have somebody. Okay, let me backtrack for a sec. Steve, I ask people, and I'm going to ask you this with
Okay.
a coach. The coach is supposed to be there 100% for you, non judgmental, help you discover what's best for you and to be able to implement stuff to get there, right?
Yep. Yep.
When in your life, anywhere in your life, do you have somebody to advocate for you 100%? And that it's all about you, nothing else.
Yeah. Nowhere. I mean, unless you have that relationship, I think one of the things that's so powerful about a coaching relationship is, like you said, they are 100% in your corner. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you be happy. They want to see you enjoy the fruits of your success, and they want to help you find and achieve more and do it the right way. And like you said, it's sometimes discovering some of those hidden talents that you aren't recognizing in yourself, or some of those blind spots that you're ignoring or have completely eclipsed your view, and they'll bring those things to the forefront so that you can work on them, you can organize them in a way that allows you to improve upon those areas so that it can just add to the value of your success. And they do it in a way that's so supportive and so focused on 100% you, as opposed to, and I get this a lot when people are thinking about hiring me as a coach, what's the difference between a consultant or a counselor or just a friend? A coach has an invested interest in your long-term success, and it's in the short-term actions and efforts that you put towards your personal or your professional life that is where a coach can help build that trust and help you get to that next level. Whereas a consultant, there's this just defined engagement, this sort of expectation on result, and then it's kind of over. A coach really digs in and becomes an integral part of your inner circle, and that's where I think the relationships are so vastly different. And like you said, where else in your world will you have someone that's 100% committed and focused on you?
And there is a place for everyone, right?
Sure.
A consultant is somebody you bring in to get the job done, get results,
Yep.
and get the answers, right, and implement on them. A coach is there to help you do that in a way that's going to serve you and the career or the life choices that you're making, depending on the stream of coaching, and that's a whole other
Yeah.
conversation. about the different streams of coaching. A counselor gives you direction as to how to navigate a trauma, something
Yeah.
that's really troubling in your life. It doesn't mean that coaches can't help you figure out choices to make through trauma, because I do a lot of work with first responders and military and everything else that are dealing with really horrible calls
Sure.
and all the rest. I give them the tools they need to be resilient and to be able to navigate that. I don't do it for them, and I don't give them direction. I don't create a roadmap. What I do is give them tools and frameworks that they use for their own roadmap to get there.
Yep.
So we are enablers,
Yeah.
and we are what I call is troublemakers, because we stir the pot big
Yep.
time
Yep.
and challenge them in a very respectful way, and challenge them. Hopefully, we're good enough that we challenge them within the boundaries of how far we could push. It is a partnership. Again, a counselor is usually the counselor's the wisdom to help the person navigate. The consultant is the doer, somebody that you go off on your own and go do your thing and give
Yeah.
me the best advice. Whereas the coach is the one that holds the container for you to expand and be able to give direction to the consultants, give direction to a counselor as to what you need, all of that. So often we work in conjunction with counselors, in conjunction with consultants, but we are there to strengthen the person, not get the job done.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and you say that so well, and like you said, everybody has a role, and we certainly encourage our clients to explore all of those. But the
Yeah.
coaching relationship is an intimate one. It's one where there is such such a level of trust that has to be built, and brutal honesty, right? At the end of the day, when you have a good coaching relationship, both the client and the coach are sharing at a level that there's just no filters, and there's no well, I'm worried about sharing this because I'm concerned how Donna's going to perceive me or look at me. And it's very few relationships in our life get to that level of intimacy that a coaching relationship does, which is phenomenal because you can sort of unburden all this stuff that weighs you down as an individual. And the coach is there to help build you back up and help you take these lessons along the way and learn from them, and become a better person on the other side and continually get better, right? Continue. There's a lot of these things that I think come up when folks are considering a coaching relationship. Well, how does it work, and how long does it take, and
Yeah.
when do I get the results, and when can we be done? Right? Well, if you're with a good coaching relationship, I think actually you never want to be done, because they are your constant companion, helping push you and prod you to be the very best that you can be, and helping pick you up when those situations that knock you down from time to time. They're there to dust you off and help you understand the lessons that are there to be
Yeah.
learned, and they're there to help you ask the questions that you need to be asking at those pivotal moments in your life. And so that's what those things really become the juice that fire me up about that, because when you're as a coach, when you're firing on all cylinders, you see the fruits of your labor coming to fruition in real life, because this person is just accelerating so much more than they could on their own.
That's it, because
Yep.
you're giving them a different mirror to look in. You're giving them a mirror that they're seeing themselves and what is possible to be so much more. So, I always say we help our clients become more of who they are,
Yep. Yep.
and there's nothing more rewarding than that. And another conversation, hopefully in the future, I'd like to discuss what we learn from coaches in various professions, because everyone brings something else to the table.
Yeah.
It's so distinctive in life, in career, in business. A coach is so different than a sports coach, in as such you don't perform on the field or on the in the hockey rink or whatever analogy you want to use.
Yep.
Then you're taken off. You're not given time because you're not going to win. Our coaching doesn't minimize people and sideline them. It's to help them become so strong in what they're already great in
Yeah.
that they shine. So that's a total opposite to the sports world. And a lot of people who say, well, what if we don't succeed? They're already looking through the lens of
Yeah.
a sports coach.
Yeah.
And I say to them, there are similarities and there's differences. And we're going to look at the uniqueness of what we bring to the table because we want you to succeed in the way that you choose to succeed.
Yeah.
It's not for me to say you need to be doing this or should be doing this. No, it's for you to say this is what I want, and we co-create how to get there.
Yeah. I like that word
Um,
co-create because that really emphasizes the partnership that you're creating with your client. And that's key, right? When they, like you started off, having somebody in your corner at this level is something that most people are not accustomed to, and it can feel quite strange because you're accustomed to, sort of, dealing with these demons in your own space and in your own head. And even when you're successful, there are the constant, internal dialogue that's running. What's next? What's gonna, what's gonna knock me off my pedestal? What's, coming down the pike and that's gonna get me, or this is going too well. Something bad has to happen. And what I find that I love about your coaching approach is, you sort of unbox and unwrap all of these key things, and you utilize questions to get people having those inner dialogues with one another with themselves, I should say, that allow them to ask those deeper questions and say, what does success look like? Or what in that moment is creating that fear for you? Why do you feel like, impending doom has to happen? And you get a good sense of why that's happened from their perspective because they've had those situations unfold before, didn't know how to deal with them or didn't anticipate them. And that's what a good coaching relationship really brings to the table as well. If that's an outcome you don't wish to have, then what do we do to make sure that it doesn't come to fruition? So having that extra person in your corner to fight that battle, to create the life and the career that you want is just, it's incredibly empowering.
I was teaching yesterday and I was talking to, the person I was teaching about perspective. Often we measure, on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you think you're doing? And people will usually, it depends on their personality, either inflate it or minimize it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You never get a 0 though. You don't ever get a 0. You usually get maybe I'm a 4 or maybe I'm an 8. Usually it's sort of weighted a little bit. And she said to me, so what do you ask next? Because you're there to help them succeed, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
so what are you going to add? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's not my question to them because I want them to see what they've achieved and to
yeah.
work with it. So my question to them is, okay, you said you were a 4. What are you already doing really, really well so you're not a 3?
That's
And
great.
it stops them to think because we bring different perspectives,
Yep.
different paradigms to the table. And it's, okay, I didn't think of that. Well, I'm doing this, 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 and this. So I said, okay, that's your starting point now. You're not starting at 0.
Yeah.
You're starting at the 4. And, because of what you already did, what one thing could you add to that? Okay, I could do this, but I could also do this, this, and this. So they're going from 4 to 6 or 7
Yeah.
because they've just started at the 4, not at the 0. People
Yeah.
think they're always starting at square one, and
Yeah.
they're not.
That's right. And that just resetting that expectation, level setting those expectations to say, look how far you've come so far. Imagine where we can go together, right? With this relationship and with, asking the right questions, putting in the work and committing to get from a 4 to a 6 to an 8 to a 10, right? Whatever that
Yeah.
that end game might be. But at the end of the day, what I love about that is, what did you do on your own to get you from a 3, from a 3 to a 4? And how amazing is that? Just nobody ever sets it there. Like, look at what I've done thus far just to get this far, right?
That's
And
right.
I think that's a beautiful way to start, and it's an unbelievable indication of how confident or how much credit they are or not giving themselves at the present. And I think that's an important part to start with from a coach perspective. I think you probably find this all the time, and you work with a wide variety of clients, as do I. But most of the time, it's folks that are coming that are saying, "Look, I want to become a better leader," or "I'm in a position where." I know that this is a temporary status for me, but at the end of the day, I want to advance in my career, whether it be with this company or another company, or I've reached a certain level of success and I feel like I'm a little bit of a fraud. I don't know how I got here at this juncture, and I really want to be able to back it up, with my next act, if you will. And so a lot of times, it's almost always there's some level of lack of self-confidence or disbelief in where they are or what they're doing. And they know they want to get somewhere other than where they are, but they don't know exactly how to get there on their own.
There's that. And one of the things that I'm noticing now with some of the people I'm working with, they've been promoted because they've been extraordinary doers.
Yeah,
They've been amazing subject matter experts. They've been amazing in their field. They got the job done. And so they've gotten promotions. It doesn't mean that subject matter experts are going to make great leaders without having that extra help from a coach.
yep,
Because leadership means getting out of the doing and enabling others to do great work.
that's exactly
And that's
right.
a really hard transition to make.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't mean they can't do it. Many can, many don't want to when they realize what leadership is.
Yeah,
And helping them come to that conclusion in a way that, some people have said to me, if I refuse this promotion because I still want to be doing the work and not leading people to do the work, then it's going to tank my career because I'm refusing a promotion.
that's right. Absolutely.
And some companies will penalize you for not allowing them to advance you. You're minimized. They have these performance appraisal boxes
Yeah.
that they put you in that, you're just a doer. You're not like a high potential or whatever else. I hate those things. We're not
Me
going to
too.
go there.
Oh my God.
Um,
That's a whole nother
you know,
episode, let me tell you.
why wouldn't you want somebody who loves what they do and do great work to stay there and continue to do it? Like, I don't
Exactly.
understand. It's helping them even have that conversation.
Yeah.
What is your ask? What is your offering to them after you've made the ask?
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street. Again, it's a co-creative process. I always say to my clients, tell me if I'm pushing you too hard. I'll back off a little bit. Tell me if I'm not pushing you hard enough.
I love that.
And we're going to literally dance through whatever needs to be danced through.
Yep. Yep.
So it's an amazing career.
Yep, it is. It's an amazing career. It's an amazing outcome for the clients that we work with. We absolutely love what we do, and we love to see people that light bulb moment when it finally fires off and like, this is what I've needed for the last 20 years of my life, right? And because we do touch every aspect, you may be looking for a business outcome, but it's amazing how much of the personal side of your endeavors that we actually touch, because you're a complete person, and you have to be able to look at that person as a whole picture, and those things are important as well. But this could definitely be an episode that could go on and on and on, and we'll definitely, I
Yes.
think, have to have a follow-up episode to this one because it was such a engaging conversation. But Donna, let people know how they can learn more about your work, and and maybe contact us for what their thoughts were about this episode, or questions they might have about coaching that you or I could tackle.
Well, our websites are a great place to start. You're at ripplecentral.com. I'm at donnacarlin.com. And you get to our social media through there. You
Yep.
could write us directly through there if you don't feel comfortable writing in the comment box. On our YouTube channel, you could write comments, tune in, let us know what you think. And our Facebook page, Inquiring Minds, with Donna Carlin and Steve Harper. Join us, let us know what you think. Give us suggestions for other conversations you'd like us to have. And share your stories with us, because through stories, people learn and they're able to see themselves through those stories. And I think it would be very powerful to hear your voice as well.
Absolutely. I know you are having those conversations from folks that have contributed directly to you, and I am the same just off these episodes. It's amazing how these conversations just continue on and on. And so we're very grateful for that. So, like Donna said, we encourage you to reach out to us individually or add a comment and get the conversation started in our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate it. So, until next time, Donna, I can't wait for our next conversation, but I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day, and I look forward to our next visit.
Have a great one.
You too.